Welcome to episode 2 of my dive dry road trip. I went on my first dives in the ocean in my dry suit and side mount combo. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking a little bit about logistics of diving in the Hood Canal and the things that I'm learning about diving in this setup. Vámonos. My name is Sarah and this is Abby, and we're traveling around the western United States in my van, Ariel. After teaching scuba diving in tropical places for 6 years, I've returned to the States to learn about diving in cold water. Join me for scuba lessons and adventures on the road. There's nothing like waking up next to a busy street. Huh, Abby? Classy. Good morning. Being next to the road is awesome. It feels absolutely ridiculous putting on all of my cold weather gear in July, but it is what it is. It's cold out today. Honestly, like, I would normally not be very excited at all with these conditions because, as you all know, I am a giant baby. But now that I have my dry suit, I feel like I'm gonna be able to handle this. I gotta say, I don't really understand this whole ownership thing. There's a lot of private ownership here in Washington, at least that I've seen so far, and it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Like, I'm on this busy road, right? Which I would assume is county maintained, and there's like a cliff, barely any beach, and yet these signs, like, private beach to lowest tide, no trespassing. Like, what property? I don't know, it just seems a little bit odd to me, but I've been told that it is totally fine to dive here, and here comes another car. So I'm standing here in front of what is called Octopus Hole, and I've been told that it's an incredible dive site, so I'm really looking forward to exploring it with you guys. Octopus Hole is only 3.3 miles north on Highway 101 from Hoodsport. It was really easy to drive by this particular spot. You can look up the parking on Google Maps. It comes up as Octopus Hole parking, but like, really pay attention as you're starting to get closer because the space is quite small, and I completely passed it yesterday when I was looking out for it. So just a word of warning. Now, I know that people are going to tell me you don't need all of that air for diving around here. I am very well aware. But this is the system that I have, and I always feel more comfortable going solo diving when I have backup air, and that means full redundancy. So I have 2 tanks, 2 first stages, my short hose, my long hose. All of that comes together as my safety precaution and my just-in-case equipment. And yes, it would be a lot easier just to go with 1 regular tank and a little pony bottle, but that's just not what I dive. All right, let's check out the undergarment situation. My base layer is basically workout clothes, so I have a pair of yoga pants and a long-sleeved sweat wicking top. I did not spend any extra money on undergarments yet. I figure I'm gonna get through the summer with what I have already, and if I need it for the winter time, then I will hopefully be able to invest at that point. On top of my sweat wicking layer, I have wool leggings. They almost look Christmas themed. And that's it for pants. And then I have a wool sweater. And I also have a jacket that I can put on top of this. I didn't wear it in my dry suit certification dive. I'm gonna try without it today just because it's really bulky and I'd rather not wear it if I don't have to, but that is an option. Just about all of this stuff was bought at thrift stores and I had gotten it well before I thought that I was gonna get a dry suit. With living in a van, space is very key, so I'm trying my best to use what I have and to use items that are multi-purpose. I have seen people wear like the jumpsuits for dry suit diving, and those look awesome because you don't have like the write-up issue of the separates. But like, I really don't have any other use for a piece of equipment like that. I can't really put on a jumpsuit and like go for a hike in the woods. I mean, I could, but I'd probably look like a total weirdo. Not that that would be any different than any other time of my life, but like, you know what I mean. Finally, I have a pair of super thick hiking socks. I just got these at REI. I have another pair of wool socks that I can wear underneath them if I need some extra heat, but that's what I'm gonna wear today. So, time to get changed. Whenever you go out shore diving, you should always bring a float with a dive flag. You'll have to look up local regulations for dive flag usage because some places are more strict than others. There are areas that require you to stay within a certain distance of your dive flag, so it's good for you to know that before you go out for your dive. Of course, it's hard to judge that underwater unless you're very familiar with your timing distance, but you want to do your best to follow all regulations in place. They're there for your safety after all. Around here, I've been told that it is a requirement and that although some people don't use them, you can get a fine, so I'm going to use one. It's better safety anyway. That was a big one. All right, I'm gonna go check this out. It looks like there's this little trail. Just step over, oh wait, the railing. This way is the best way to go. I'm not wearing the best shoes for this. A word of warning to my fellow small bladder humans. There are porta potties in Hoodsport, which is only about 3 miles away. There's absolutely nothing here. I highly recommend getting your gear ready there, using the porta potty, and then coming to the dive site. Now that I've hauled all that equipment, I'm actually kind of warm, but I'm gonna need this. I have a feeling the water will be quite cold today. Let's see how we do. I have removed all of my earrings, any rings, my watch, everything, because I'm anal retentive and I know that my silicone seals are very prone to ripping, especially because I don't have spares right now. I'm gonna do my best to take care of them. Whew. In storage, I'm keeping this plastic zipper zipped, but the actual waterproof zipper inside is not zipped, okay? And that's what I've been taught to do. I always forget. I have these wonderful suspenders, but I always forget to put them on the right way. Okay, hold on. Let's get into these. That. Now this keeps my boot from getting away from me if I have too much air in the feet. Hello, my sweet girl. You are going to take care of the house while I'm gone, okay? I love you. Oh, this was still tangled somehow. So I want to go for higher shoulder, lower shoulder. Here goes nothing. Sweat is literally dripping down my chest right now. Okay, that looks pretty good. Starting to get claustrophobic. Oh boy. This is my favorite. Wish me luck. That wasn't so bad. All right, let's get all of the hair. So now we've got this guy. Oh my god. I don't know why this feels so. Oh, that helped. Just need to get some of the air out. Okay, so now it's on. I'm going to connect the crotch strap. And now I get to do the whole thing again with the side mount harness. Yay! I don't know why everything feels tighter today. Did I get fat? I don't know what it is. Now you know what it is. It's probably because I have... Oh dear. That's problematic. There it is. I was just caught up on something. Man, it's really hard to tell where your gear is in this thing. I feel like even more of a Michelin man than my semi-dry. I'm so sweaty. Son of a... That's been recording this whole time. Oh my gosh. Let's go do this. The really awesome thing about these dive sites is that they're perfect for side mount. There are no waves. I can literally go and stage my tanks in the water, then walk in, put them on, and swim out to the dive site. It's so nice not to be fighting waves with full gear on. This dive site is made up of two parts, a deep wall straight out from the parking lot and a shallow wall close to the shore. There are lots of nooks and crannies along the wall, which is where, I assume, the giant Pacific octopus hangs out. So far, the GPO count is 0. I'm not gonna lie, I had quite a few problems on this dive. Between side mount malfunctions and my struggle with drysuit buoyancy, I was a mess by my standards, but I learned a lot. The next dive site for the day was an easy one. I went to the Hoodsport Pier for a simple, shallow dive where I could work on my buoyancy and video skills. You go into the water right in between the pier and the dive shop, and straight out, following the pier, you will find several small wrecks. It's important for you to take a dive flag and leave it in the shallows for this dive because the dive site is literally where the boats are driving around and parking. So you want to make sure that you're indicating that you are underwater.
the white knuckles holding on a tie, keeping your feelings bottled up inside, heading for collision and denial. To really live, you gotta die. Breathe in, breathe out. Hey, come alive. Breathe in, breathe out. Look at the colors, colors, colors. Right.
Successful first day of real dives. Buoyancy and side mount is still an issue, especially because I'm also filming. And for any of you who have done underwater videography or photography, you know that when you add cameras into the mix, it just becomes a little bit of a show. I definitely have some things to work on, but it went well today. Dive days are really messy in the van, I have to say. I still have to figure out my process of like moving efficiently through the space, because like in between dives I was charging stuff and I had wet gear and I was just like, oh my god, this is gonna be a disaster. This is what it ends up looking like. Need to figure it out. It's gonna come along though. But when a dive shop does not have a shower, I'm in the parking lot. It's great. Air rained out, and now the best feeling after dry suit diving. Boom. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. Favorite time. Oh gosh. This is actually getting better, but it's still a pain. Made it. Low shoulder. Yes, that turn was necessary. High shoulder. We did it! Ay, ay, ay. So I've got a bucket to catch any dripping. Get up inside here. I'm going to hang this upside down. And then the rest of the body in there. And now that's just gonna drip in there. There it is. Stay tuned for more episodes from my dive dry road trip, and you can get more from me by joining the Azul scuba community over on Patreon. Don't forget to go to my website to find out how you could join me for diving in Baja in January 2023. It's the only thing. It has great diving, but the place is so loud. Since I'm waiting for my tanks to get filled, I'm going to also take an actual shower because I am gross. And to be honest, after living in a van for a year and a half, I really don't care where I shower. I have no shame.